friends, this is Cold Run back with Dragon Age Inquisition. We are here amidst the clashing of swords, where we just talked to Cassandra and hit on her a lot. And there were 3 codices that opened up, and I want to check what those were. So let's see. First was, I have a little list here, of the Pentagasts, the Seekers of Truth, and Navarra, I think were the 3 main ones. Pentagasts. Allow me to correct you on one important point, my friend. The Pentagasts are Navarra, and this is the ruling family that that Cassandra is like the 73rd next in line with to rule the place. Without us, this nation would either still be one of the motley city-states that comprise the Free Marches, or under Orlesian control, more likely the latter, as only Navarra's strength holds back the Empire's expansion. And by that I refer to the brilliance of Pentagast generals and the influence of Pentagast coin. So the Pentagasts think pretty highly of themselves, and if they held back Orlais, and that's not a lie, it sounds like that's not without reason. I find it interesting that you mentioned dragon hunting as our only significant trait. You do understand, I hope, that the dragons disappeared centuries ago, only recently returning at the beginning of this age. Some of our clan have taken up the old trade out of nostalgia, my cousin Ferdinand, the most prominent among them. Ferdinand the Dragon Slayer. But those days are largely done. Today there are 14 branches of the family, 18 if one counts our relations among the Van Markhams, each consisting of multiple families and twisting bloodlines connecting us to almost every major house across Thedas. I'm fully aware that King Marcus wanes in health, and neither he nor Ferdinand have children. But make no mistake, there will be another Pentagast sitting on the Navarran throne, and that man or woman will lead us into a prosperous future. There will be no civil war. So I'm guessing there's going to be a civil war. This is from a letter by Baroness Alia Pentagast, Dragon Age 938. Dragon 938. I always forget like where we are in the calendar or what that means relative to the current time. But I thought that... Wait, so... I'm fully aware that King Marcus wanes in health, and neither he nor Ferdinand have children, but there will be another Pentagast sitting on the Navarran throne. So the Pentagasts, it sounds like, aren't the only power in... So I knew there was that line, there was like 74 people in line for the throne with, with Cassandra at the end, and then probably more people after her. But maybe like 5th in line for the throne is not a Pentagast right now. So something to keep an eye on. Oh, another group I missed. Oh wait, there was the Seekers of Truth, I think. Oh, there it is, yep. Seekers of Truth. Okay, good. I've been wanting to learn more about these for a little while. I sort of have a general idea of what they are, but not a full sense. The Seekers of Truth aren't Templars, not precisely. Once they were called the Inquisition, but upon the signing of the Navarran Accord, they gave up that name and became the order they are now, standing over us Templars as watchers and enforcers. Okay, that makes sense. Excuse me. I honestly cannot claim to know more than that. I don't know how many Seekers there are, a few dozen. If they have a base of operations, I don't know where it is. Certainly not with any of us. So they're like a secretive group. They're almost like a military police kind of thing within the Templars. The only time we'll see one is when a Seeker is summoned, perhaps in response to a complaint by one of the first enchanters. They'll investigate the problem, and if it turns out a Templar did something they don't like, he's disciplined, severely, without question. Even the Knight Commander bows to their will. If a Seeker of Truth shows up, you know every last Templar is sweating, hoping their gaze doesn't fall on him. Were there Seekers of Truth in Dragon Age Origins during the whole Mage Circle storyline? Of course that changed when the Navarran Accord was broken. I'm told the Chantry broke it, but it was Lord Seeker Lambert who made the announcement. He said the Seekers of Truth and the Templar Order were going to hunt rebel mages no matter what the Divine commanded. I didn't know he had that authority, that he could just say what he would, say we would do this and everyone would follow, but we did. I never thought of it that way, but the Seekers have always been our guides. Now they've led us into war. From a letter written by Sir Jonathan Perry, 940 Dragon Age. 940 Dragon. I'm okay. So the Navarran Accord was broken, um, and this is when Lord Seeker Lambert like led them out on their own. Actually, I'm quickly googling Lord Seeker Lambert Dragon Age 2. If anything from Inquisition shows up, I'm moving away from it. Lord Seeker Lambert Dragon Age 2. Um, I it, all I'm seeing is the words Dragon Age Inquisition, so I'm going to skip away from any of that stuff before I see anything. Yeah, so it looks like this is somewhere we're just learning about now. But again, I was trying to remember if he was the main Templar antagonist in Dragon Age 2, but if he is, I'm sure I'll find out sooner rather than later. And the last thing is places. I think this was Navarra. Yeah, Navarra. The fourth time I attempted to cross the border into Navarra from Orlais, I was turned back by chevaliers. I decided to take the more roundabout path, a ship back to Ferelden, and then another to Navarra. The outcome was more than worth the trouble. The whole country is filled with artistry, from the statues of heroes that litter the streets and even the meanest villages to the glittering golden college of Magi in Cumberland. So this is something where we're getting a real sense of what this place is like, that it's very extremely proud, powerful, but maybe on the wane. Like, it sounds like there's problems in the royal family and there's issues with succession, so maybe kind of respecting its past more than its present. Perhaps nowhere is more astonishing than the vast necropolis outside Navarra city. Unlike most other followers of Andraste, the Navarrans do not burn their dead. Instead, they carefully preserve the bodies and seal them in elaborate tombs. Some of the wealthiest Navarrans began construction of their own tombs while quite young, and these became incredible palaces, complete with gardens, bathhouses, and ballrooms, utterly silent, kept only for the dead. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi. So that all, the focus on necropolises and the dead lends to that whole image of a nation in decline, of a nation that kind of cares more about its past than where it's going, or takes pride more in its past than where it's going. Very interesting. Anything else from you?
Yes.
About the Seeker, let's talk about the Chantry. I think we've gone through all these, but maybe not. Let's try the Seekers.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle.
Right,
We were
okay.
meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
Okay, so this is a lot new. This feels like it's very new. So this is the end of it. What are the Seekers?
But what are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the divine, and not even her.
It's a lot of power. They did a bad job. So you led the Templars, then who watched you? Yeah, this seems like the more interesting one.
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the divine's duty, but she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her.
Right?
The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
That makes sense. Still not sure what that pointed star is. What abilities do you have? Why did the Seekers rebel? How do you become a Seeker? I think, why did the Seekers rebel?
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control.
This is the Navarran Accord.
It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
Yeah, I might come back to this if I can if I can. I don't know if I can, because I want to ask you disagree. But I also want to finish investigating, because I think you said that you, a Proustian, said that this doesn't advance like the story options yet.
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages.
Okay.
Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
What are your gifts? Oh, yeah, what are your gifts? Okay, so I can kind of follow up one of these storylines. If I go back to why did the Seekers rebel, it'll give me that other option. I'm going to ask about her gifts, though, because I'm curious.
Gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will.
Holy shit.
Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze.
It's a lot of power.
Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
Let's go back to this.
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
Now, I kind of wish I could... Like, is there a way to skip through this right now? Because I want to get back to the choice. Because we already heard this thing. Yeah.
Allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw
How do I...
themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
Alright, you disagree?
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges.
That was the woman from Dragon Age 2, I
But
think.
we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes.
Yeah, I don't know if mages should be free, because the threat of... what do you call it? The threat of becoming an abomination is real. I agree with you. I don't know if I agree with her either. I'm just going to go with you care deeply about it, because she does.
You seem to care a great deal about it.
Too much, if you ask the rest of my order. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
Yeah, like a slow train wreck.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Vigil sounds scary as hell.
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
Gotta be nice to see other people, too, after all that time. Oh, this seems dismissive.
I wish I could experience that.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons?
Right?
I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
Okay, so now it's the total end.
I've no more questions.
So what happens if I try to talk to her again? Will all those options come up again? Investigate? So that was just the tell me about the Seekers. So maybe I can go more on
I have
others.
some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, right? I've just been sitting here talking to you this whole time. Yeah, so I think I can keep going through the dialogue, and it'll exhaust it at a certain point.
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to
Anthony.
speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
I'll let you get back to work.
Okay.
Greetings.
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Okay, so now it starts to recur. Can Can I just keep being annoying?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer
No.
not to speak
And now I
of
can skip
Anthony.
it.
Another
Okay.
time, perhaps.
I'll
Or
let you
maybe
get
not.
back to work.
I said to skip and did skip. I don't know.
Do you need something?
Yeah, let's talk about the Chantry.
May I ask you about the Chantry?
It is difficult to say what becomes of the Chantry now. They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the Divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Should the Chantry be saved? Why did you leave the Chantry? I think we kind of know those things, sort of. Will there be a new Divine? Yeah, well, how do they choose that?
Will the Chantry replace Divine Justinia?
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry law for them to emerge without naming a new Divine.
Right, that's like the College of
Sometimes
Cardinals.
it takes days, or weeks, or even months.
Or the Conclave of Cardinals,
The problem
whatever
now
it
is
is.
that no clear successor to Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with her at the Conclave.
So they're gonna pick someone unworthy, I guess.
So what happens if they can't agree on someone?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the Grand Consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
If they do choose a new Divine, will you serve her?
That depends on whether she would have me. I am a rebel now,
Oh, yeah,
remember?
true.
And even if she would, I do not know. It would depend on what type of divine she is. I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new divine could expect such obedience now.
Do you really believe the Chantry is worth preserving?
I do. Though I understand how someone born outside of human society might think otherwise. Cast the Chantry aside and new problems replace old ones. We will have learned nothing from history. The people need stability, and the Chantry needs a new purpose. Andraste had a dream for us. It can still be achieved.
So what should that
I believe
new
her.
purpose be?
A dedication to what is truly important. Instead of building cathedrals and sewing gowns for the divine, the Chantry used to spend its coin feeding the poor. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do so with open hearts and open hands.
She does sound like an idealist.
That
That's
sounds
not a bad
rather
thing.
idealistic of you.
Does it? I do not think it's so unachievable. The Chantry has many good, honest people. They just need direction and inspiration. They need to be freed from centuries of adherence to tradition and ceremony. A chance for renewal is at our fingertips. It does not have to come with utter chaos.
Okay. Yeah, let's
What
talk about
influence does
Roderick.
Chancellor Roderick really wield?
He's a bureaucrat, responsible for communicating the Divine's will to the rest of the Chantry. Therefore, he's accustomed to the clerics hanging on his every word, hoping his influence will benefit them.
One of the higher ranking
Despite
men, I'm
that,
guessing.
Roderick is not a bad man. He's frightened, and believes his place is to fill the gap left by Most Holy's death. Some might agree. As far down the chain of command as he is, there is no one left above him.
Something about hearing about him about Roderick reminds me a little bit of Terran Logain, of someone who thinks that they're doing well and maybe doesn't use the best tactics and is kind of unscrupulous, but is trying to fill a gap that they see. Because I remember Terran Logain saw the king as really like a terrible king, and he wasn't necessarily wrong. I think the king was kind of flaky, wasn't he?
How big a problem could he be?
No more than he is already.
I
He sent
think
his message to the College of Clerics. That is the only card he had to play.
I get the sense you're
Dealing with
underestimating him.
Further only lends him credibility he doesn't deserve.
I'm surprised you rebelled against the Chantry.
I left my own order when they took the wrong path. It is no different. But in neither case did I stop caring. Indeed, I care so much that I feel drastic action is necessary. I shall one day judge my actions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, I'm gonna try once more. I think we've gone through all the things, though. Tell me about yourself.
I have some more questions.
Yeah, of course.
Why am I not surprised?
So, okay, so...
I'll let you get back to work.
Because I was worried that the game would just keep letting me repeat these and give no sense of which I've covered before and what's new. But it seems now at this point, like, this
I
is
have
like...
some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, like, this is the only thing that's
Tell me
left.
about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
I'll let
Okay,
you get back to
so, yeah, I'm gonna move on from her then. But let me check to see if there's anything I missed with the other dude then. With Cullen.
Did you need something?
So let's see. Tell me about your colleagues, why the Templars leave. I think we did the colleagues
What do
thing,
you
right?
think of the people you work with?
Oh, we did some of them. So, like, I think we asked about Josephine and Liliana, but not about our
Are you
soldiers.
satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
No, we did.
Our numbers are small, but some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
Josephine, Liliana. Yeah, like, even now I don't know, because I feel like we've gotten these dialogue options before. I'm just gonna move on.
I should let you get back to work.
Yes.
What about one of the other paths? Anything I should know? It's a weird question.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
Templar life, yourself. No, I think I'm good for now. Again, if there's an option to click on that shows me a checkbox when I've completed someone's dialogue or a certain dialogue tree, so that I know, because I have really bad memory. Like, please let me know. Because so far that's the main downside I have in this game right now, is not being certain about these different things and not wanting to repeat stuff unnecessarily, but not wanting to miss stuff either. Joining the Templars. Tell me about the Templars. You staying here in Haven. What happened to the Conclave? I think I'll say goodbye at this point.
Walk in the Maker's grace.
Alright. So, I'm going to go turn those quests in, and I'll stop if I see anything interesting along the way.
I spoke with Commander Cullen. I apologise for what I said earlier.
It's nothing. Now, Scout Panay, what can you tell me of Redcliffe?
The mages have been quiet since their attack on the Conclave.
Their attack? Do you have information confirming that the mages were responsible?
Well, I had assumed.
Don't. Our job is to acquire actionable information. Assumptions can lead you to overlook something vital.
So these scouts are... Yeah, so meanwhile all this is going on, the scouts are investigating the Conclave, it looks like. Interesting. Okay, so we're...
Will you be able to get us the crafting supplies we need? When they're ready. Piss off.
So we're at Thren, and we get to turn stuff in.
Can I help you with something?
Oh right, I think I have to talk to the box.
I could go with you.
Yeah, so let's do this. So we have one logging stand. Craft item. So what are we crafting? Inquisition weapons. So this is the general thing. Our soldiers require additional weapons if they are to be effective. Reward power +1 for our soldiers.
That'll help.
Power +1. Okay, nice. The little eye coming up. Completed. And that's it. Yeah, no... I know you mentioned that a friend of Prustian mentioned to me that there's no experience bar. That's still weird to me. Or wait, is that... I was going to say, actually, is that what this thing on the right is, where it says 4, power 1, Inquisition perk 0? Or maybe that's the amount of XP, like 189 XP right now, 3042 until the next power. Maybe that's what that means. Because I don't think I have like a... Do I have a level? I don't know. Oh, I have a level 4 warrior. Wait, so is that an experience bar? Because it says I'm at 4 there. So maybe that's the experience bar. Maybe. I don't know. We're heading into Adon's house, and we're going to turn in the notes that we had from before.
Segret told me that he can't let the herbs go for anything less than 8.
Fine. We'll gather our own. Tell Segret he better hope he doesn't need a salve anytime soon.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off your alchemist.
You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tajin was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here, but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Acquired lyrium potion recipe. Okay. I think I've already talked to him about all this stuff.
Farewell.
I don't know for sure, but I think I did. So now, if I go in here, is this a lyrium thing? No. Lyrium potion. Yep. Increase magic by 30 for 20 seconds. So this is like a power spike kind of potion. What does it need? I have 1 Black Lotus. Oh! Why did I think that the Black Lotus was something I was supposed to be selling? Inventory. I thought it was a valuable. No, it's a crafting thing. Okay. So I need a Dawn Lotus for that. Yeah, let's do it. Let's upgrade it. Why not, right? I need 18 elf fruit, but I have been getting plenty of elf fruit. But that's a lot of elf fruit. I'm glad I've been picking it up along the way. Increase the maximum mana. So does that mean that instead of increasing or in addition to it? It does both. It does both. Now it increases magic by 30 for 20 seconds and increases maximum mana by 25. So it upgrades the it's not like I get a different kind of lyrium potion. It makes the lyrium potion stronger. That's really cool. So research is super good. I should prioritize research. So once I find Dawn Lotus, I want to stop and farm elf fruit. And for regeneration potion, increases the duration. Like, that sounds really good. Again, royal elf fruit. So once I find those blue things, that's when I'll really want to go to town. So the next thing I want to find is Menave. I want to find out a way to get to her, but she's in that quest to give her an item to research. She seems like she's out there, and I don't quite know how to get. Wait. Oh my god. I was thinking that this was like a lake I had to wrap around the church for, but no, she's in the church. Okay. Summon War Council? I don't think I want to summon the War Council. Maybe she's in here? Whoa. Cutscene.
The Inquisition cannot remain a vessel if you can't prove it was founded on Justinian's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked her life to slow the magic of the breach. Mistress Lavelan, this is the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House d'Aurelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
His voice actor is really strange. Something about it, I don't know why.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Montilyet of Denham, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. She was a woman of supreme merit. I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
I wonder if there's something, like if he has something wrong with his face, like if he has a burn or something under his mask, and that's why his voice sounds off, or maybe it's just the voice actor making a choice. I think I'm gonna go with. I don't think I'm gonna try to appeal to this guy's reason.
Demons are pouring from the sky, and you're worried about land claims?
Yeah.
Haven is the d'Aurelion's rightful property.
Has Empress Selene officially acknowledged your possession of Haven? I was unaware Her Imperial Majesty had conferred with Ferelden's monarchs on this
The Empress has not yet had the opportunity to do so.
Get wrecked, buddy.
We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
Is it working?
I'll think on it, Lady Montilyet. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
Lady Montilyet is awesome. She's the friggin' best. I mean, Cassandra's the best, but she's also the best. That Templar Lady Lisette is also the best. I think I think it's Lisette. Yeah, there's a lot of best people.
Do the Durellians actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite our Ferelden relations, the Durellions are our legion. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I'm so pleased the Marquis isn't tossing us out into the cold.
His Grace is only the first of many dignitaries we must contend with.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart.
I'm glad you're watching over us.
Sure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
I like her so much. These politics are ridiculous. Glad you're here having you carry on. Let me investigate more.
May I ask what brought you to work for the Inquisition?
Sister Leliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
Probably
For
a
some
lot.
years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
I feel like my character would kind of grumble at politics, but I don't think she's naive. I don't think she likes the idea of all this politics stuff going on, except like I think she's impressed by this person's skill.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montilyet.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas's politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
Okay, so let's see if we... Ooh, read. Maeve is here. So that's Maeve, and that's Joseph. Okay, so Josephine, Maeve. Alright, we're kind of... I wanted to just be a short session. Next time I'm here, though, I'm going to explore this whole area. We'll talk to Maeve, we'll talk to Josephine, we'll read what's at the book, we'll explore this research thing, and maybe, but probably not, we might even leave Haven. Yep, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.